Good, happy Sunday evening, October 18, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Sunday evening, so let's begin. But first, we're going to begin with COVID-19 updates. First up, one new COVID-19 death reported in New Hampshire, 112 new cases announced. One new COVID-19 death was reported in New Hampshire on Saturday, and 112 new positive test results were announced, health officials said, as the number of cases continue to rise. A woman who was 60 or older and a resident at a long-term care facility in Hillsborough County died, officials said, bringing the state's death total to 466. Of the new cases, 81 received a PCR test and 31 had an antigen test. The daily positive rate was 1.2%. 21 of the new cases were in children. State health officials have said they expected an increase in cases in part due to more tests and have urged the public to wear masks, maintain social distancing, and follow other guidelines to try to limit the spread. To date, there have been 9,625 cases in the state. Of those, 8,222 have recovered. Officials said there are 937 active cases. No new hospitalizations were announced. 18 people are currently in New Hampshire hospitals with COVID-19, and there have been 761 hospitalizations since the pandemic began. More than 311,000 people in the state have taken a PCR test, and more than 31,000 have taken an antibody test. New Hampshire COVID information, what you need to know. Let's take a look at that right now. And here is a look at that for all of you right now. There are 9,625 number of people in New Hampshire have tested positive for COVID-19. 8,102,142 number of people in the United States have tested positive. 446 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 761 number of people have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire. And 157 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. And now let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where current cases of COVID-19 are. Nashua, 110. And let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where total cases of COVID-19 are. Nashua, 1104. And now let's take a look at these three charts here. Let's start with the first chart here, new cases each day in New Hampshire. In the purple, daily new positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, new hospitalization. Red, deaths. Now let's take a look at this chart here, current cases. In the purple, total current COVID-19 cases. And in the orange, current hospitalization. Let's take a look at this chart here, total cases. In the purple, total positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, total hospitalization, red, deaths, and blue, recovered. And now let's take a look at this chart here, positive PCR test rate and daily PCR tests. Now let's take a look at this chart here, age group of cases, female and male of cases, and risk information. And let's take a look at this chart here, infections, hospitalizations, and deaths. And let's take a look at this chart here, deaths, percent of New Hampshire population, race/ethnicity of cases, and hospitalizations. And a reminder, your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, chills, difficult breathing, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. How it spreads, and prevention tips. And be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. Police: man who fired shots outside Lee Shopping Plaza had stolen guns, faces several felonies. The man who fired shots in the parking lot of a busy Lee Shopping Plaza on Saturday, forcing stores to go into lockdown for 2 hours, had several stolen guns in his possession and is now facing multiple felony charges, police said Sunday. Gordon Felt, 27, of Bar Harbor, Maine, is accused of firing multiple rounds from a handgun into the air in the parking lot of a Lee marketplace about 11:40 a.m. Saturday. Nobody was injured, and Felt turned himself into SWAT officials about 1:40 p.m. Lee Police Lieutenant Donald Liberty said Sunday that Felt has been charged with several counts of reckless conduct, receiving stolen property, and being a felon in possession of a dangerous weapon. Liberty said the handgun that Felt fired was stolen, as were 2 rifles, a shotgun, and another handgun found in his pickup. Only the handgun that Felt used was loaded, Liberty said, but there was also stolen ammunition found in the pickup. Felt was being held without bail until his arraignment Monday in Strafford County Superior Court. He has a previous conviction out of Maine, Liberty said. The Lee marketplace includes a market basket, a Rite Aid, a state liquor store, and a Planet Fitness. The businesses were locked down with customers inside until Felt was taken into custody. And let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9.
Bentley Chevrolet says now is the time to make it your own during Chevy Truck Month. Buy a new 2020 Chevy Equinox all-wheel drive SUV, just $22,184.
This parking lot in Lee is where police say they responded to a call of shots fired and found a man holding a gun. They say the man refused to comply with police commands.
At one point, when I saw his left hand pulled out like this, I saw a revolver.
Nathan Fredette says he was driving into the Lee Marketplace parking lots when he heard gunshots and then saw a man holding a gun pacing back and forth. He says he warned others near the Market Basket and Rite Aid and called 911, then watched police de-escalate the situation.
When he went towards his car, he was doing this with the gun still in his hand or pointed at his head, and he would just be taking things like a stereo set out of his car and just put it on the truck bed. It was kind of odd, so it was just a lot of erratic behavior.
Lee police say 27-year-old Gordon Felt from Maine was the man holding the gun in the parking lot. They say multiple agencies responded and locked down the area for 2 hours.
A perimeter was set up around the marketplace. All the stores were on lockdown. No traffic was allowed into the marketplace.
Police say Felt reportedly shot the gun in the air. No one was injured, and while Felt did not initially comply with officers' demands, SWAT teams took him into custody at 1:40 p.m. without further incident.
The individual is getting help that he needs, and it was a textbook operation.
After witnessing the incident, Nathan says his next trip to the grocery will feel different, but he's comforted by the way police handled the situation.
I think the police handled it so well that I feel comfortable that they're around all the time and they're quick to respond.
Police say the man's motive was unclear. He was taken to Wentworth Douglas Hospital in Dover for further evaluation. In Lee, Jessica Moran, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And again, his arrangement will be tomorrow. And 20 minutes ago, New Hampshire State Police shared this photo on scene with a motor vehicle accident on Route 16 northbound at the Rochester tolls. Let's take a look. As you can see, a crash currently under investigation, and only one toll lane northbound is open for traffic. Expect delays in the area. As you can see, accident here, as you can all see. And as you can see, the whole toll booth is completely destroyed. We will keep you updated if we get any more information into our newsroom. Heath joins Benny Media for new show. Let's take a listen to this video. Heath joins Benny Media for new show. Jack Heath, former host of New Hampshire Today on WGIR AM, has joined Benny Media, which plans to broadcast Heath's new show over several FM and AM stations. The Concord-based company announced Friday, "We're thrilled to have a talent like Jack join Benny Media. He brings a deep of experience in professionalism in journalism, along with a connection to politics that will be of interest to our listeners," company founder Bill Benny said in a press release Friday. Heath, a veteran broadcaster who also previously served as news director at WMUR-TV, announced at the end of his show Thursday that he was leaving the iHeart radio station where he had hosted the weekday morning news show for 7 years. Benny Media has 18 radio signals in northern New England and reaches over 1 million listeners monthly, the company said in a release. Jack's show will stay consistent with the content from his former show, while adding some new features, additional geographic and more FM coverage, said the president of Benny Media in a statement. His show will air on 107.7 FM WTPL, 107.3 FM, and 1490 AM WEMJ, and 98.1 FM and 1270 AM WTSN. And that does it for this news report right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for watching this news report and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Goodbye, everyone. Okay, and there you go on that report. And that does it for this Sunday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Have a great rest of your Sunday evening, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Good night and goodbye, everyone.